Alright, hi, my name is Mitchell Meyer. What I'm going to talk to you about is the NBA one and done rule. Is it a useful tool or unfair rule for the gifted athlete? Alright, so what is the NFL or the NBA players rule, the one and done rule? The NBA players rule book says that a player is or will be at least 19 years of age during the calendar year of the draft, or at least be one NBA season has elapsed since the player's graduation from high school. This doesn't necessarily force you into college, but that's typically the route that players go. You can go to an NBA D-League, or you could also play overseas for a year and then come back. This is a rule that was implemented by the NBA to get students to think about college first instead of the NBA. What's wrong with this rule? Scholarships, first off. They're awarded to players that don't intend to graduate. Athletes are not prepared both physically and mentally for the next level or for the real world. Also, if basketball doesn't work out, then they have nothing to fall back on for their future. And then one thing is with colleges, fans can't establish relationships with players, and it kind of hurts the college game. With scholarships, according to the Department of Education, 73% of high school graduates do not graduate from college. A big reason for this can be money and not having enough money to get to college, things like this. And what we're doing is giving money to players and athletes that don't intend to do anything to graduate, nothing. They're just there to play for 1 year and they're there to take off. So they're providing money to somebody that's not there for an education. That's what they're all about. Even if they decide not to spend it on just a typical student, just another student athlete that plans to be there for a longer amount of time. According to an SEC website, the SEC schools spend about 12 times as much money on one athlete as just an individual student. So that's 12 individual students that can possibly go to college for one athlete, and that's a pretty amazing number. The next one is athletes are unprepared for the real world. According to a website, ihelp.com, they gave 5 ways that college prepares you for the real world, 2 of which are responsibility and financial awareness. There have been many players that have left to go to the NBA or been there 1 or 2 years and gone to the NBA, and they haven't been financially responsible, I guess. 3 major ones that have filed for bankruptcy recently are Antoine Walker, Allen Iverson, and Kenny Anderson. Neither one of these graduated from college and were there for a maximum of 2 years. Antoine Walker actually made $110 million in his professional NBA career, and he doesn't have any money. So think about that. So he has no education, no nothing, and he's playing basketball somewhere in Europe for a minimal amount of money. A quote I found that I thought was funny. This is from Robert Luna. He's a financial advisor for the Arizona Cardinals. When a 19-year-old gets such big numbers, they go out and buy the biggest house and the fancy car. Before you know it, they're out of the league and their income drops significantly. So that's obviously something that they don't have anything to fall back on. It's obviously athletics, and that's all they have. Another quote from Brian McCormick from developyourbballiq.com. College also gives a player time to develop physically, to be more prepared for the NBA, and to have a longer lasting career. No education to fall back on, whether your career ends because of ability, injury, or any other reason, retirement. People will go and still typically need some source of income. Some people might find it within basketball, but some people need things to fall back on unless you're a superstar and you make plenty and you live well within your means. A Georgetown researcher study stated that 63% of American jobs will require a secondary education or training by 2018. So obviously this number is getting higher and secondary education is becoming more important. Injury is not something that you can plan for, and it's unexpected, and if you're not prepared for something other than that, it could really hurt you in the long run. A solution to this. There are a couple different solutions. One is the college football rule. College football has it that you're required to be 3 years out of high school in order to declare for the college football draft. This gives you time to get a degree. Many athletes are getting degrees quicker and faster these days. Cody Zeller's actually got his in 2, so it's given time to establish himself and learn responsibility now. I'm not sure exactly how much, but it gives you time to just grow and be aware. Money is not wasted on the athlete. They actually put it towards an education instead of just throwing however X amount of dollars for 1 year for them to leave. This also prepares the athletes physically, gives them time to grow, mature, and then for mentally, just be prepared for responsibility and financial awareness. A quote from David Stern, who's actually the NBA commissioner. He said they could get players to agree that they stay in school and ask for their scholarship money back if they didn't fulfill their promises. Now, I know this isn't a big situation and it might not apply to a lot of people, but for many people who follow college basketball or college athletics, this is a big deal to them. So if it's important to you, it's something to look into, and maybe you can do something to make a change someday. Thank you.